YA, Students Work for. C. Student Summary. The Education System and the American Dream. The American Dream and the Educational System. Albert Einstein and Thomas Edison are two examples of how schools and education in general sometimes fail to recognize the potential in some children. They were both described as being disobedient, arrogant, clumsy, and confused. However, they eventually emerged from hiding and, with their fantastic inventions, changed the world. So, what is the query? How come the SE students overshadow the AS students in real life? They discover information that AS students deem irrelevant. You can see why financial education at home matters so much in the 2012 presidential election between Obama and Mitt Romney. According to Obama, Romney paid 14% in taxes on his $21 million in income while Obama paid 20%. Many people were enraged, but it is obvious that their skills with money and the lessons they learned at home were to blame. The lesson is to give your children a head start by teaching them money management skills so they don't waste their hard-earned money. Many young adults with college degrees had no chance of landing the high-paying six-figure job of their dreams after the collapse of the mortgage market in 2007. Parents started warning their kids about what would happen if they didn't attend classes and enroll in a university out of fear. Meanwhile, the cost of education increased, leaving thousands of graduates drowning in debt. The American people questioned the educational system for the first time in history and firmly believe that when jobs are migrating to low-wage nations, why do we still put pressure on our children to complete college degrees? When you can easily outsource the work and get it for much less money, why would anyone hire an American accountant? The American dream is destroyed for fairly obvious reasons. Why isn't financial education taught in schools, too? Robert claims that education is important, but he has concerns about the learning curve, which appears to be flattening out with each passing generation. The catchphrase "stay in school" is beginning to make less and less sense. When Robert was a young boy, he occasionally neglected his chores to spend hours playing Monopoly after school. When his father arrived, he would be told to stop wasting his time. The father of Robert Kiyosaki was a socialist, or at least leaning towards socialism, or, if you prefer, a typical paycheck man. He would visit the rich dad's house between the ages of 9 and 18 to gain first-hand knowledge of how to operate a business. He recognized the true spirit of capitalism and how each of us gains from the abilities and skills of others. He had an advantage in real life thanks to the never-ending knowledge he gained from being immersed in the real world from a young age. His father, the poor dad, wanted him to take the easy route by attending college and receiving a salary, security, pension, and many other benefits. You now know why so many people are earning college degrees. The bar has been lowered so low that almost any young child who has no idea what his future holds can simply sign the documents, without realizing the financial cost. Get ready for the future. It is impossible to miss the fact that parents and people in general work hard to shield their kids from the harsh realities of today. New costs and obligations will arise as the world develops, increasing uncertainty. As a result, many young people who have just graduated from college find it difficult to fit in. This causes a backlash and the emergence of the boomerang kids phenomenon. These are the children who are dependent on their aging parents to take care of them because they are incapable of surviving on their own. E is for employees. S for small business or independent contractor. B for big business, 500 employees or more. I for investor. Employees, who make up the majority of the workforce and are primarily motivated by higher pay, are located in Quadrant E. Most of the residents of Quadrant S are ES students, including professionals like doctors and lawyers. The innovators and entrepreneurs in Quadrant B include people like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, etc. Investors in Quadrant I who are active include Warren Buffett. Capitalists belong in the I and B and E and S quadrants, respectively. Whenever people shout, "tax the rich," they don't understand that the taxes are raised on high earners, which means people from E and S quadrants. Smart business people and investors prefer to continue being capitalists who value hard work and create jobs. They can easily discover legal strategies to reduce their tax obligations. It is purely a financial issue, not a policy issue. Make sure you're teaching your child how to budget their money and stay away from unnecessary expenses if you want to help them win the battle that lies ahead. Truthfully, it's never too late to switch quadrants and begin critical thinking. Address the problem and start learning. Deal with the problem and start to learn. While poor dad dreads the thought of having money problems, rich dad would say, money problems can make you smarter. You need to realize that the days when a person would start a job, work for 40 to 45 years at a single company, then retire and collect benefits are long gone. How we handle why problems is the main link between wealth and poverty. In addition, let's take a look at the windows of learning that Robert holds in high regard. Quantum learning from birth to age 12. 12 to 24 years old, rebellious learning. Professional learning, 24 to 36 years old. You will determine whether the system is made up of both your parents and your education during this time. While poor dad focuses on liabilities, rich dad focuses on assets. To know where to draw the line, you must identify the things that put money in your pocket and do away with those that squander every penny you earn. In contrast to ES and SS, who are not prone to critical thought, BS and is a concentrate on asset acquisition. Traditional education. In traditional education, context is less important than content. Without context, content would not exist because the context, a person, holds the true meaning. It's about the qualities and practices these people uphold, champion, and encourage. Those in poverty might say, I'll never be wealthy. Even those in poverty can be good. A person of the middle class might say, I aspire to attend college. Quality education. A nice house and stable employment. Rich in the making, or a rich person might say, freedom comes first in all things. I'm curious to learn more about life. I must be wealthy. Why do the rich get richer while the poor get poorer? The answer lies in the three-income solution. Commonplace. Personal portfolio. Inactive. Using the standard method will get you nowhere. Consider successful athletes and lottery winners who failed to transform their income and ended up broke. Giving money to a poor person is not a sign of success, on the contrary, they lack financial management skills. Why are AI students placed in this category, and why do AI students fail? Mostly because the school system recognizes only one intelligence. Let's list a few more to get a general idea of the issue. Language verbal. Mathematical logical. Kinesthetical body. Physical. The arts. Relationships. Internalized. Success intelligence, also referred to as emotional intelligence. Last but not least, resist the temptation to assume that geniuses are avaricious and quick to judge. The most inaccurate information about capitalists is probably that they are more than happy to share their wealth in a variety of ways, after receiving a good financial education. Important takeaways from a YA students work for C students. 1. It is never too late to start. 2. Keep pushing and learning practices. 3. Step into the shoes of a great leader. It's never too late to start. You may be in your late 30s or early 40s, but that doesn't mean you wouldn't be a good candidate for a mindset shift. Many entrepreneurs agree that entrepreneurship, as embodied in capitalism, is a mindset rather than a profession. So, don't be discouraged if you want to seize the world. Continue to push and learn practically. Yes, reading is important, but so is participating in debates, doing actual things, and experimenting. Don't be fooled into thinking that because you went to the best schools, you'll have all the skills when you get to the office. It's all nonsense. The real drama begins when you enter the dynamic of 21st century capitalism. Step into the shoes of a great leader. Even if your skill level is not at the required level, the determination to leap is all that is required to make a difference. You'll finally be able to let go of all the meaningless and trivial concepts that have poisoned you. Unleash your potential by putting yourself in the line of fire and accepting the leadership role.